Walkshu, welcome back to another episode of Learning Sayontu. Today we're going to learn about syllable structure and stress. And first of all, I just want to teach you a bit how linguists study syllables. So, um, words like this word cat has an onset, so the consonant that occurs at the beginning of a syllable or the consonants that happen there, and there's a nucleus, so that's the vowel that that is between that is in the syllable, that's called the nucleus, and the coda is the last consonant or consonants in a syllable. Another example I give here is the word crafts, which has cr as its onset, plus its nucleus a, and its coda yeah, in this word. So remember these terms for the rest of the video, as they will be important. So a quick note on syllable structure in Sayontu. Where here the C stands for consonant, V stands for vowel, and the brackets indicate that these the consonants don't always occur there, but they often do. So here the most common syllable structure in Sayontu is a consonant vowel, and sometimes consonants as well. Depends. Most syllables in Sayontu will follow this structure where it's a consonant followed by a vowel, or it's a consonant followed by a vowel followed by another consonant. Although these structures also exist where a consonant is followed by two vowels and ends with a consonant. This one here with a vowel that is followed by two consonants, although this is quite rare. And there's also this one, so two consonants followed by a vowel and a consonant that can occur there as well. Something else I didn't mention that I think is important is the presence of the letter Y in Sayontu, how Matthias transcribes the language into our Roman alphabet. So if you see the letter Y at the beginning of a consonant of a syllable, where it's a consonant, it's pronounced j, j. If it's the nucleus, then it's pronounced u, u. And if it's also in the nucleus but is followed by another vowel, then it's pronounced as y. No, sorry, y, as in the word you in English, y. So nuclei. So all the 9 vowels can occur as nuclei in Sayontu. So again, a, o, e, I, u, o, u. Also, these those vowel clusters or diphthongs can also occur in the language. The asterisks indicate that I'm not too sure if these exist, but I'm pretty sure they do. So in order, it goes ai, au, au, ou, ea, I, iu, ia, ie, io, iu, oi, ue. So onsets, so again, what precedes the vowel in a word, so the first consonants in a syllable. And I've noticed that most, if not all, consonants can occur as onsets in Sayontu. I haven't found like words that have some consonants in it, but I'm pretty sure they can all occur as onsets. Also, there are a few clusters that can occur as onsets as well, such as br, pr, tr, and r, pr. Also, pl and tw exist, but they're a bit more rare, and these I've only seen once or twice in words. So gh, gn, ft, and sg. Codas, so the last syllables or syllable of a no, the last consonant or consonants in a syllable. My mistake there. So most syllables will end either in a vowel or in with one of these coda letters. So n, n, l, w, and h. So I would say amongst these ones, l, and h are the most common. Also, I've noticed that other syllables, sorry, can also end with these. So h, f, z, s, f, sh, h, as well as these b, p, d, t, k, and all more rare, but also I've also noticed that they can end with a x, x, and there's one word that ends with a n, which is just a prolonged version of and. And there's one word that ends with nk, and that's the word enk, which is the word for each, as in each thing or each person, etc. So now we move on to stress. So in English, stress plays an important role, as these words here, the word present and present, where the stress is put on different syllables in the word and convey two different meanings. And these two words on the bottom um, also share, while they have quite a unique stress structure, as they are borrowed from indigenous languages in the US. So here there's the primary stress, which is indicated by the apostrophe, and the secondary stress, which is marked with this bottom apostrophe. So here we have Alabama and Mississippi. So there's a bit of stress on these two initial uh, syllables, and the main stress, as you can see, and I'm sure you've heard it a lot, is on these syllables. And now we move on to feet, which are simply like a group of syllables that form a unit. And if you're into poetry, you must be familiar with feet, since in linguistics it's the same thing essentially. So here, for these two previous words, we can separate the feet. Well, we can separate the words into 2 feet. So Alabama and Mississippi, where the stress always occur on the first syllable of every foot. And this will be important for Sayontu, as we will see shortly. And for some of the songs, I've noticed that the acute accents, which are used in Spanish to indicate stress, are used in Sayontu and Matthias's transcription of the language to indicate where the stress is located, and there's a pattern to each of these locations that I'll show on the next slide. So, from my observation, I've noticed that the stress is always on the last syllable. Well, not always, but mostly on the last syllable of the leftmost foot, which means that if a word contains one foot, for example, it will be on the stress will be on the last syllable of that foot. If a word has 2 feet, it will be on the last syllable of the leftmost foot. So here we can see, and I'll go to the last example below as it's somewhat of an exception, but as we will go one word at a time. So the first word, amma, which means I am, the stress is on the last syllable, as the word only contains 1 foot, as it's a 2-syllable word. So here you can hear Matthias say the word. Amma. So as you can see, he emphasizes the second syllable of the word. Potikta, which is an energy cube, and Matthias explains it very well in many of his videos, is and this word, the stress is put on the last syllable, as it's in the foot on the right. And yes, something else is that I want to mention is that feet in Sayontu start from right to left. So if it's a 3-syllable word, for example, there will only be 1 foot in that word, and it will be on the right side. So here there's only 1 foot for each of these 3-syllable words, as well as this 5-syllable word where there's 2 feet and not 3. So the 1 syllable is left out. So in poticta, although he says it in a Spanish context and it affects where the stress is, you can hear a bit that he emphasizes the last syllable, although it's a bit hard to hear. So yeah, so he emphasizes the last syllable, although the way I cut the audio, it sounds like it's, well, for most of these, it will sound like it's the first syllable that is stressed, but I think, well, I'm pretty sure and confident that it follows the same pattern everywhere. So same thing with the who be when, which I haven't figured what the word means yet. And the stress is also on the last syllable, but because he sings the word in the audio that I provided, it's instead of emphasizing the syllable, he puts emphasis. Well, he lengthens the syllable, as you will hear. As you can hear, the S sound is pronounced longer, so it's not when, it's when. I'm exaggerating a bit, but it's more or less that. So now let's move on to 4-syllable words, such as Ali Nali, where because it has 2 feet, the main stress will be on the last syllable of the leftmost foot, so it will be li, and same with Adei Kori, although this has 5 syllables instead of 4, but it still applies where the stress is on this syllable, so the last syllable of the leftmost foot, as you can hear in this audio. So you can see he lengthens the sound of the E in both words. So Ali Nali and Adei Kori. So now we get on with words that have 6 or more syllables. So in this word, which is one of the words for God or the universe, is amanenumotuni. And I was shocked when I first heard the word that, well, I was shocked that the stress was not on the leftmost foot, but on the second to last foot. And I guess that's how the stress pattern works in Sayontu, although it's very rare to find words in Sayontu that have more than 5 syllables, so I get why it would be on this syllable and not the ne here. And as you can hear in the audio, yeah, again, as you can hear, he puts emphasis or stress on the mo or mo in amanenumotuni. So again, yeah. So this was the stress pattern and the syllable structure in Sayontu. I hope you enjoyed this video. And afterwards, before moving on to the word structure in the language and how words are formed, I'm going to show you some of the words I've found and translated, and I'll show them alphabetically based on the Sayontu alphabet, so you can gain a bit of vocabulary before moving on to how words are shaped. So, thank you for watching, and see you next time.